Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Specialty Metals, Smelters, and Refiners, talking about precious metals. I am your host, Joseph Katz, here again with Dan Freed, founder and CEO of Specialty Metals. Dan, how are you today?
Oh, good. Thanks. And you?
Doing great. So we've talked in the last few episodes about where you can find some metals. We talked a little bit about medical situations. Let's talk a little bit about labs. I know that there's platinum used in laboratories for many reasons, mostly because of the high melting point. So tell us a little bit about what you've seen in labware.
Well, a lot of laboratories use crucibles for various means, mostly to melt things inside materials. And by using platinum crucibles or iridium crucibles, the melting point of those two metals are very high, and therefore you could melt whatever the intended target is. You can melt it inside the crucible without melting the crucible. For example, gold melting point is about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you need to melt gold, you could do so in a platinum crucible because the melting point is somewhere around 3,500 degrees. Iridium, I believe, is even higher. One of the ways we get a lot of calls from people who don't know whether they have platinum or iridium or if it's not precious metal at all, because they make nickel crucibles that look the same. So one true test that you could do at home involves a $10 propane torch. Just take that torch and light it and get that crucible red hot. Platinum and iridium crucibles will turn red hot, and when you remove the flame, they go back to their original state with no burn marks. You won't see any black soot or any type of burn mark at all if they're platinum or iridium crucibles. And that's one sure way to tell.
If it's any other metal, it'll leave a mark. It'll burn, show a burn mark.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you work in a lab, you probably are sitting around some precious metals, not even knowing it, is my guess, right? Because you're just so
Right.
used to that equipment.
They also have platinum mesh. It's like a mesh material that is platinum. Again, same thing applies. Try that propane torch method, and you'll know whether or not you have platinum mesh wire. Also, any type of platinum, thermocouple wire or platinum wire, heat it to red hot and pull the flame away, and it should go back to its original state.
So for anyone who works in a lab or runs a lab, they may have precious metals that are sitting there on their counters that can be recycled for cash and used for the business going forward. So if you have that, definitely give Dan and his team a call at 1-800-426-2344 or email sales@specialtymetals.com, and someone from the team will get back to them. This has been interesting because I think, when you go to do your job, you just forget that it's there, and you may just not even realize. You may just toss, oh, it's used, I'm going to throw that out, and you could be throwing out something pretty valuable.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, good advice for people working in and around labs. So Dan, appreciate your time again. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you all for listening, and please subscribe to the channel for continuous updates on specialty metals and how you can make more money processing them.